This episode is in collaboration with YouPerform. YouPerform is redefining recovery with scientifically backed collagen supplements designed to help you train harder, recover faster and feel stronger. Trusted by elite athletes and active individuals alike, their Active Collagen is expertly formulated to support muscle and joint health, reduce recovery time and keep you doing what you love without the setbacks. Power your performance with YouPerform.
Welcome to episode 124 of the Local Runners podcast by runners for runners. We are your hosts. I'm Katie Kay.
I'm Dave Norman.
I'm Callum Parkinson.
I'm Sean Robertson.
And today we've got a Sale Harrier who has PBs 5k 21:43, 10k 44:55, half marathon of 1:42. Her son and daughter-in-law have already been on the podcast, and now it's time to welcome Lynda Rownlinson.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Welcome, Lynda.
I'm like polar opposites. You've got Callum and Ali, and then you've got me.
Lovely to have you. So let's start by telling us how you got into running.
Okay then. So many years ago, started work and worked in a big open plan office, and this boy used to come in and I thought, oh, he's quite nice, and got talking to a couple of the girls and tell me his name, and it kept coming into the office. And then I was on the bus going home one night and I was talking to one of the girls, and she said, oh yeah, Gary lives around here and he's running the marathon, I think. So I thought, oh right, okay then. So a couple of days later she walked into the office and got talking to him, and we got talking about running, and I told him that I ran as well. So he said, oh, we'll have to meet at the sports centre. So where I work, they had a sports centre called the MacDougall Centre. So we arranged to meet one Wednesday night to go for a run afterwards. So I was really excited and thought, I've got this. I've run around the block a couple of times, there's nothing to it. So packed my green flash trainers, my best holiday shorts and t-shirt, and met him on the Wednesday night for a run. So there I was, all ready to go, and we'd set off, and as soon as he got out the door, I thought, I can't keep up with him around the block, and I thought, where's he gone? And I thought, I can't shout stop, I was just so out of breath. And anyway, he turned round and he ran back to me, he said, you've not really run, have you? So I said, no.
I love it.
So yeah, that was kind of the start of things, really, of my running career.
Oh, brilliant. And you just mentioned then those green flash trainers and your summer holiday shorts. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how that has kind of evolved in terms of kind of kit and things.
Yeah, so I suppose like with the green flash trainers, I was running in them for a while because you just didn't feel, the confidence to get rid of them, and I didn't think it was any good. But then that's sort of like when I suppose what happened, you kind of talk about running, and then I met some people through work, and we went running, and then joined Sale Harriers. And when I went down to Sale Harriers, talking to Maurice Jefferson, who owned a sports shop on Brooklands Road. So I went there and got my first pair of proper running shoes
trainers
from Maurice Jefferson. But then I think, look back at those, and they're probably just what people wear as fashion shoes now, in terms of like your Nike and Adidas. So yeah, pair of Nike trainers.
And what's your go-to kit now then?
Anything that Ali gives me. But I do like Asics, and I run in Asic trainers, and go-to kit is usually whatever on offer, or hand-me-downs.
So you've been racing for around 40 years now then. So did you ever think back then that you would still be running all this time later?
No, never. No, I didn't. I never thought that I would still be running. I just thought, met Gary, we went for a few runs. But I suppose what happened then, we would meet every Wednesday and go for a run, and then that kind of become a bit of a routine. Then met people through work, and we, I sort of joined a run group at work. Then started to go off to do races at weekends, and that was, really got me into it then.
Yeah.
There was no pressure. You just rock up at races, do a race, and it was fun. So, and just the amount of people that you meet, it's been it's been a really good experience.
And just thinking about how things have changed as well, back when you started running, you told us that you had to wait for results of races to be posted out, or you were looking in Runner's World for the next race. So do you think that things have changed with like the implementation of like Garmin watches and Strava, and is that for the better or?
No, definitely. It's definitely for the better. So I did the marathon in 88 and 89. And I don't remember the marathon in 88.
Which marathon?
Sorry, London. So that
is the marathon.
That is the marathon.
We didn't have that on your PBs, did we? We didn't.
I sent in a picture. Yeah. So I did the marathon in 88 and 89. And 88 is just a blank. I can't remember.
Oh, really?
I think... So there's a lady that I met through work, Pam Bryant, and I always remember her coming into the sports centre with a marathon medal. And she was probably only in her 40s, but I thought, oh my God, if somebody that old can do a marathon, surely I can. So anyway, I thought, I'm going to have a go at this. And I was really lucky. I can't kind of remember which way round it was, but I think in them days you just went to the Building Society and entered, put your name forward for the London Marathon, and I got an entry and just did the training on my own. Gary says, don't you ever remember me running 10 miles with you and then going playing football? I think I can't remember much about it. It was just a real sort of blur. So did the London that year in 88, and I think it was 4:35 I did, and then the following year I thought, I'm really going to have a go at this again. So got talking to Pam, and we trained together, and we kind of all went down as a group and did the marathon, and did 3:55. But in them days you had to queue, and there was no chip timing.
Yeah.
So it must have taken me about a good 20 minutes to get from where I was stood across the start line. So I've got that picture, but I swear it was more like 3:30.
Right.
Yeah. So then in terms of results, you had to wait then for the Wednesday. Well, unless you were really fast, and then the results came out on a Monday in the Times, so I had to wait until the Wednesday to get my results from the Times.
I couldn't imagine having
That's
to wait.
mad, isn't it? I know, having to wait
Yeah,
like
so
that.
like in answer to your question, it's improved massively because you know as soon as you get in the car, don't you? After you've done a run, you're like on your phone to see what time you've got.
Yeah.
Immediately.
None of that was there then.
No.
Yeah.
People just make up their own results now, don't
Well,
they?
yeah.
on the socials, it's like, sub 4.
So you did those 2 marathons. Have you done any since? Or?
Oh, I did Manchester I think it was 99, and I was a bit disappointed with the time and everything. But at the end of the day, it was just, I think a lot of it was just about getting round.
Yeah.
But it was just...
Was that Heaton Park to Wivenshaw Park?
No, it's Manchester Marathon.
Manchester Marathon.
Yeah, so I did 4:09 and just beating myself up over it, really.
I'm trying to remember the course. I thought that one went from Heaton Park to Wivenshaw Park, but that might have been later.
So the old Piccadilly Marathon, I haven't done that, but Gary had done that.
Right.
And that was finished in Plattfields, I think. I'm not sure where it started from.
Right.
But, I remember that going down Princess Parkway. Why did you do that?
No, I didn't do that one.
Too young.
And have you got any plans to do another marathon? Or?
Manchester. So training for that now.
For this year?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So see how it goes.
Ooh, exciting. We'll see you there.
How's your training going for that then?
It's going. so I had a chest infection, and it kind of set me back like 2 weeks, and so really I'm suppose I'm 2 weeks behind, but I think I'll do it. I'll just keep going.
Are you looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to the day. So it's quite funny, really, because obviously Callum did it last year, and we cycled round and we watched him, and it was a beautiful day, and it finished outside the university where we work. So we sat there and we were enjoying lagers and waiting for him to finish, and it was nice and sunny, and it was a great day. And Callum had a great run, and when I got home, I thought, I'm going to do this next year, so I entered, and now I'm thinking,
we all do that.
really?
You'll enjoy it.
I don't.
Adamant.
Yeah, we need to get Dave back doing a
Retired.
marathon.
Oh.
If he stops getting injured. Okay, so moving on to Tour of Tameside then, we've got to talk about the tour. So,
definitely.
You remember the tour back in the day when it was in its original format?
Yeah. So again, running at work, it was great. I don't think I did much work, really. I used to get over to the sports centre about 11 o'clock and get back to our desk about 2 o'clock. So used to run with a load of people there, and I was talking about Pam Bryans and her husband Chris, and Pam didn't, but Chris did. He'd go off and he'd do the tour of Tameside, and he'd think, God, like, how can you do all that and just have a Wednesday off? It's just absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe that people had that resilience and energy, and I never had the confidence to do that. And then when they brought it back, I thought, I'm not letting this go by. I'm really going to have a go at this. So signed up for it and gave it a go and really enjoyed it. The Hell on the Fell, I think that's sort of my favourite
So
one.
what year did you first do it?
Trying to remember. Don't know. Should have looked into that, shouldn't I?
That's all right. How many times have you done it?
I think I've done it 4 times.
4 times.
And then just one year I thought, I'm not going to do this again. And just did the Hell on the Fell, which is my favourite one. So just did the one race.
That's bizarre.
I know, I was going to say, Sean doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
I quite like Hell on the
I know,
Fell. But
I do as well.
what is it that you like about it?
Oh, it's just so exhilarating, isn't it? And
That's not quite what I would describe
No,
it.
and I suppose this sounds really silly, the challenge of staying upright.
Yeah.
So got a terrible reputation for falling over. So
Yeah.
a challenge of staying upright.
It's boring, I think, going up the road bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit deceiving, isn't it? Because you call it Hell on the Fell, but you're so long on the road, aren't you? I hate that bit.
And
but
then-
once you get up on there.
That's it. And then I think also you can be competing against people that you would never come close to, because they're sort of really full of trepidation going down the hills. You can usually just pick them up, can't you?
Yeah.
If you're not
Yeah.
too bothered about falling over.
You planning on doing it this year?
Oh God, yeah. I've entered already.
Oh, excellent. Oh, God. And you've won your age group twice, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're in for the 3rd this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so, fingers crossed, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. We all love the tour, don't we? I'm doing the tour. Are you guys doing it?
Not in it yet.
Oh, it'd be full up
Sold
now.
out.
Sold out now, Callum.
No, then. But it's not what you know, it's who you know.
That's very true, yes. So talking about the tour as well, that's when I think I first met you, didn't
It
I, at
was,
the tour?
yeah.
Last year, and you came over to say that you'd listened to the podcast
Yes.
and you could empathise with my struggles with Cramp, and I've never met anybody who struggles like I do, and you told me that you struggle as well. So tell us a little bit about your Cramp journey.
So I think in the tour really struggled on the Saturday in the half. Absolute agony. Just never felt anything like it. Just had to walk, and it was just, I suppose it was awful because you were seeing people passing you by and what have you. And then I was doing the Anglesey half marathon, and I was the first lady over 60, really happy. And then the lady over 60 overtook me, and it was just, I was sort of like got a mile to the end, my calf cramped up, and I couldn't do anything, just sort of like hobbling around. So, and then in bed at night, no reason, it'll just cramp up, and it's just so painful.
It's awful, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and so just going back years ago, kind of experienced some cramp, but not as bad as I did now. And I remember reading in Runner's World, you can do your own drink, just some orange juice and a pinch of salt. I felt like, I know, how big's a pinch of salt? So I put some salt in, had this drink, went, oh, I couldn't stop being sick. So I thought, never do that again. And then more recently, people have said, try magnesium, rub magnesium on, have a magnesium bath. And then I was reading about magnesium, and it was saying you can have too much of it. So I went to the chemist and said, I want to take some magnesium, but I don't know how much to take. So he said, well, why? So he said, well, I keep getting cramps when I run, and particularly, like half marathons and that distance. So he said to me, how old are you? So I said, well, I'm in my 60s. So he said, well, it's no surprise really that is. And he was like, he wasn't sympathetic or anything. So
that's awful.
So come back. I was saying to Callum, like, oh my God, what do I do? So he just said, you've got to train more and get your legs used to it. So
Not got to the bottom of it though.
No,
that's why I'm like, and again, I feel like I've tried everything. I've tried magnesium, calf sleeves, drinking more, drinking less. Like literally, I feel like I've tried everything. Yeah. But it's always, touch wood, it's never happened on the shorter distance. It's always half marathon or marathon, but to the point where I can't even move.
I know it's well, just, I don't get it that bad, but
when people say, I get a little bit of cramp and I have to hobble, like I literally have to stop.
It's horrible, isn't it? So a friend bought me some like a potion for Christmas. Yeah. She said to me, I've got you this for your cramp, so keep it by your bed. So used it once and it's fine, and then at weekend I got cramp in my leg. And I thought, oh God, this is really bad. So I got up, rubbing this potion on my leg and on my foot. Got in bed and I thought, oh, that's good. Then it kicks off and it's in my other leg. Anyway, rubbed the potion in that leg and it just wouldn't go. But it cured one leg anyway.
Oh, it's a nightmare. We've had this conversation before, haven't we? I don't think we'll get to the bottom of it. But I do think some of it probably is fatigue and... Because like I say, to me, it happens in the longer distance. But it's just so random that... Like recently, again, touch wood, I have done some races where it's not affected me at all, but then it just catches me out of the blue. Yeah, and that's the worst bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. Well, you've tried a few things, haven't you? Different things, different fueling and stuff.
Yeah, I thought I'd cracked it in Berlin because it's the first time I've done a marathon without cramp. Then did a half marathon not too long after, and had it worse than ever.
Well, in Berlin.
Oh, that's bizarre.
That's what I mean, though. So there's no... like pattern with it.
Because you'd have thought it'd have been dehydration and that would have got you, wouldn't you?
Because you were having the carb drinks, weren't you, in Berlin, is that right?
Electrolytes, so carrying electrolytes, and I have done in every race I've done since.
But it just gets you unawares.
Yeah. So, it's really random.
It's funny because when... you'll all probably laugh at this, but it's doing 15 miles on Sunday, and I thought, right, I'll do like 3 lots of 5 from the house so that I could go back to the house, have some electrolyte, have a gel, and then set off on the other 5 miles in the hope that I didn't get cramp.
Well, I've been carrying the soft flasks, so like 500ml with the strongest electrolytes you can get.
Right.
So I've been carrying one of them. Like when I did the half yesterday and the half the weekend before, I carried one with me. Yeah. So I took on 500ml of fluid. And when I did Berlin, I had 2 of them, so I had a litre.
Did you used to get this race in the 80s when you were doing London then? No.
No.
Yeah. Don't know. So do you feel differently now than you did then?
I fuel better now than I probably did in the 80s, yeah, because in the 80s nobody really talked about fueling, and like when we did the marathons, it was a case of it was just Lucozade and Mars bars, and there was no such thing as gel.
Sounds better, to be fair.
So there was nothing like that. So you'd go out on a long run and you'd probably just take a bottle of Lucozade with you, or fruit juice or something. But there was just nothing like that, and there wasn't the science behind it all. So nobody ever spoke about it. And I suppose sometimes I still find that a bit hard. So I go out with the group of girls that I run with, and they're talking about gels and electrolytes and Huel and one thing and another, and I think, do I really need that? I didn't need it in the 80s, but then I suppose I must do because I do struggle now, and whether that's just like an age thing or I don't know whether I'm doing more running now, but I don't think I am doing any more than what I did years.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it, if we overcomplicate it. You said before, aren't you, Sean, like at that point you're taking so much stuff you think what's actually working.
Well,
what's
not. Yeah,
well, anyway, but I sympathise with you, but if you find the answer, let me know.
No, I will, definitely.
It's on the back of a postcard.
Yeah. And that's all my questions. So thank you. I'll hand over to Dave.
Welcome, Lynda.
Yeah, hi.
Okay, well, I'm really curious about your answer to the first one because I've never heard of this event. So, do you miss the Tough Mudder style events of the 80s, like the Bollin Valley 13 miler?
Dave, I thought you'd have heard of all these.
With the tractor tyres and the railway sleepers.
Yeah.
So, tell me about this event, Lynda.
Okay, so it's called the Bollin Valley. It wasn't a Tough Mudder, it's just advertised as a Bollin Valley. And I think it was is it Prestbury where it's really posh? So it started there, and we had to run through the River Bollin and through Prestbury, and you were carrying tractor tyres and railway sleepers. And there was 3 of us who, again, from the sports centre at work, who took part in it. And we did this for a couple of years, and it was absolutely amazing. It was really challenging. You had to be strong, obviously, to carry all that sort of equipment. And it was 13 miles long. But again, I just think it was just something that I'd never come across before. And running in and out of the River Bollin.
I can't think of anything like that now, apart from
the Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
But it was nothing, like today's Tough Mudders, and nothing like that. I mean, it was around picturesque Prestbury, and it was all very exciting and invigorating.
Yeah. Was there any other events like that, or was it just that one?
Nothing like that, but then I used to like the Wernethlow half.
Wernethlow half, yeah.
And I remember just the year I managed to run up that hill. Used to have like marks in, didn't it? So you could grip onto the road, not hand and feet. Yeah. So you used to like the first time that I managed to run up there without stopping. I think they stopped the race, didn't they?
Yeah, sadly, yeah.
Yeah, never done it since.
God, a race up Apple Street sounds awful.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Still got them little slats in it though for getting.
It has, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to know where the full route went, if anybody knows.
It went from Romley Cricket Club, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then through by all the flats, just trying to think of the area. But yeah, it went from Romley Cricket Club and out into Hattersley.
Right.
And then I don't know how you get to Wernethlow and then back down and finish back in Romley Cricket Club.
Yeah. So many great races, that we never got
start it off again.
Tony mentioned it when he was on, didn't he? Wernethlow half, yeah.
That's why he loves Apple Street so much.
He does, yeah.
Okay, you've already mentioned Maurice Jefferson at Sale Harriers and
Yeah.
how you got your first pair of trainers off him. So I've got in my notes here that you were initially intimidated by Sale Harriers, thinking that it was only for elites.
Yeah.
How did Maurice Jefferson and the social group change your perception of what a proper running club looks like?
Okay, so I think, again, started to enter races at weekends and, turn up and you do all these 10Ks and what have you. And I started to see familiar faces, and they'd all have like the Sale Harriers vests on and what have you. So I got starting to talk to some of these girls, and they were saying, just come down to the Harriers. I'm thinking, I can't come down to the Harriers. Everybody's really fast and, speedy. Anyway, they were great, and they said, you've got to come down, you'll love it. There's a great social aspect to it also. So I remember the first time going down, and I saw Gary with me because I thought, I can't just rock up on my own. So we went, and that was like it just opened up a whole new world, because Maurice was absolutely fabulous. He'd go down on a Thursday, he'd do his track session, and we just met so many people. And then I think on a Tuesday we'd meet and we'd go for a run. Then on a Sunday it'd be like the social runs, or you'd go off and you would do a race somewhere. But it just opened up a whole new world. And I think there were speedy guys there on the track on a Thursday, but then there was Withinshaw, so a lot of them were at Withinshaw and not down at Sale Harriers. But it just it was amazing, and all credits to Maurice. He was so welcoming and just so helpful and tried to guide us all, but at that time it was just the social aspect that we enjoyed the most. So I think all the hard work we did on a Thursday we wasted because we went out to the pub after.
It wasn't wasted.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, we were carblading. That's why we get Cramp now, isn't it? Because we don't go for a drink after.
When I see the name Maurice Jefferson, I always think of the Sale 10 mile and the Sale 5 mile races that I used to run years ago, and he was the race director for those two races.
Yeah, so the Sale 10, I remember doing that, and it was amazing because it started from Withenshaw Park, didn't it?
Yeah.
And went round
It was
the park.
four laps, I believe.
I know, I can't believe that, but it's
She went
such a
out to
good
that, I
event.
think it's called Moor Road where the tram line now is. That's why they can't have the race anymore.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, and then they went down the little cycle path that the Sizzler goes down, and then through the park and then back round.
Yeah, because I've been listening to the problems that you're having with the Salford Harriers and the
Salford 10K.
The Salford 10K, and I was thinking, is there nowhere else that you could have hold that? But then it's not in Salford, is it? And you kind of, it loses the meaning. But there was so many races like that were just around the roads, and nobody ever seemed to bother, did they?
Health and safety
Health
mad
and
now.
safety,
Not allowed to get run over by cars anymore.
The other thing is that there's not. Weekends are not like they used to be, are they? They're busy now, weekends. You know, Sundays are busy still on the roads.
Well, shops didn't used to open on Sundays at all.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday afternoons, Dave.
No.
Torah Townside used to race through Ashton Centre on open roads, didn't it?
Yeah.
Couldn't do that now, could you?
No.
Can't even drive.
No, my own club Altrincham. I remember when I started with the Altrincham 5, the Timpley Dash Series. You may have run these races.
Gary ran that. I used to go down and watch that, and it was just so somebody had put on Facebook about Hale 10K, and Hale's got his 10K, and so, somewhere else has got its run, and what about Timpley? And I thought, well, Timpley used to, and I can't understand why they stopped that, because it was just, you really didn't have to run on the road. You could just run on the pavements, couldn't you? And through the estate at the back.
Yeah.
Oh, they said Altringham's got his beer mile.
Yeah,
So.
there is that. Although it's the last one this year. So moving on to Dave Walling. So you spent years being coached by Dave on the Monday Hills. So how much of your 1:42 half marathon PB do you credit those hill sessions for, and do you still have a love-hate relationship with hills?
I just credit that PB to Dave Walling, and when I did get that PB, that was the first thing I did, was got in touch with Dave and said, guess what, got PB in the Winslow half. They were amazing, and so it used to be quite, because we had Callum and Lewis and they were young, so Gary would do the track session on a Monday and I'd go and do Dave Walling's hill sessions, and I love the hill sessions. Gary hated those, so he stuck with track, and I still love the hills, but my problem is now staying upright, so it's like, if I go out on the hills and I have a fall, what will I do? And and will my mobile phone, will it have reception? So I kind of overthink things, but I do love hills, and I really miss his hill session. We did try to resurrect that.
Where did you do those hill sessions?
I'm not telling you, because you'll get better than me. No, so it was all around Worsley, so where the posh houses are.
Right, yeah.
So all around there.
Right. I wondered if it might be because there's very few hills in the Sale area, but I wondered if it might be in Kenworthy Woods.
No, Leckensfield and is it Beaconsfield?
Right.
And then there was another one, and we used to do lampposts. So there was 3 places, and you'd alternate them, but they weren't in the woods. We were just on the roads, but they were really good sessions.
Nice. Yeah, clearly you love hills because you like Hell on the Fell.
I know. Yeah.
So tell us about the Awesome Park Runners. How did that core group of 5 ladies help you navigate the challenges of COVID and the return to racing? Okay,
so I suppose Sale is, it's been a really brilliant running club, and and they've made some really lifelong friends there. And I was just having a bit of trouble again with chest infection and thinking, just keep struggling here. And then Carla said to me one day, she said, I'm meeting a couple of the girls, why don't you come out with me? And thinking, I can't do that. I'll be rubbish. I won't get that far. So she said, no, come on. So she introduced me to Wendy and to Tracy, and we went out for a run. And before I knew where I was, I'd done like 6 miles, and I was thinking, I'm not even going to get a mile down the road. And then later on, we met Jenny through the Dave Walling sessions. So we used to just meet at weekends, go out and do runs. And then over COVID, obviously we couldn't run together, so we would just keep in touch with each other virtually, and it just became a really strong group, and we'd have like quizzes virtually, and I suppose we kind of built up that group then. And then following COVID, when you could just sort of like run with one person, we'd alternate, and so we could all keep up. And then we started to do park runs together, and now we do park runs and go back to one of the houses for coffee afterwards. So it's just nice, and I think we've just all grown stronger because I suppose because of COVID as well. We all kept that connection, and now we've done quite a few runs overseas and abroad. And
Brilliant.
it's been good.
Is that park runs? Have you visited park runs overseas or just races?
Done a couple of park runs. So we did one in Austria, and then I've done one in Munich. But you don't find them in Spain, do you? So you've got to go
Really?
and do sort of like go overseas, where I suppose route them out. But we did most recently we've just been to Mercia and signed up for the half marathon, but unfortunately I got a chest infection and Kerry broke his leg, so we had to go and spectate. But it's just nice being out there, with that group. It was fun.
Okay, so you also mentioned the naivety around the protocol,
God.
where you accidentally gave your race number to a friend who ran a 42-minute 10k in your name. So how long did it take for the legendary Feckin McCormick to catch up with you about your power of 10 steps?
Oh my God! You know what? That was a nightmare. So I don't do 10k, and I don't like 10ks really, because you've got to work hard, haven't you? Put some effort in. So again, Sale Harrier, because my friend Jan, she said, "Oh, I'll run it." So I said, "Okay, you can have the number." So she'd come down with us and give them a number, and she went over to change it. And I don't know what it was with it was the Leeds Abbey Dash, and it was early days, and they just said, "Oh, we can't change your number." So I said, "Oh, it don't matter, just running it." So she did a really good time, and I didn't know what power of 10 was or anything like that. So then went for a run on the Tuesday night, and Feckham was you've got to change, get in touch with Power of 10 and change your time. You've not run it. You're going to ruin all the stats and everything. So I thought, what's he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. So I thought, just ignore it, and everything will go away. Anyway, then one Tuesday night I was out running, and Feckham was behind me, and I was saying to Jan, "Quick, run, run, run." So I think by the time it was all forgotten, I could have done a 42 10k or 42 half marathon. So anyway, that kind of all went away. But just a couple of weeks ago, I handed my number to somebody else to do a race. And I didn't read the small print. It's the hell to be half. And I needed to get in touch with Nifty Entries and change. And I didn't read the small print. So all of a sudden I got a thing on my watch to say, "Congratulations, you've done 128. I'm thinking, oh my God, he'll be like first over 60, won't he? So then all I could think of was Feckin chasing me. So I thought, he'll catch me this time. So I was trying to quickly get in touch with Helsby and Nifty Entries, and so anyway, I managed to change that in the end.
There's a lesson there for listeners, isn't there? Oh dear.
So we've had a couple of questions from Roz from Chorlton.
Hi, Roz.
She says, first question for the legend, this is Lynda. Is she doing Welsh Castles this year? And which is her favourite stage to run?
Well, I don't know. I'd like to do Welsh Castles, but the competition in Sale is so high. And you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. I think it's just all a great event. I've done a couple of legs, and I just think, this, on the first day particularly, the scenery is just spectacular, isn't it? So
I've never done it.
Oh,
We've never done it, have we, as a club? Yeah.
Haven't you?
No, so we've got, for East Cheshire, I think we've got about 25, 26 people that are wanting to run it, and they've all paid up So we're getting
Have you had your entry accepted?
Not yet. We find out on the 15th of March.
Right, okay.
So
I'd love to do it.
Oh, it's amazing.
I think someone
yeah.
said before that you have done it in the past, but years and years ago.
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
I think East Cheshire last did
I
it.
can't believe it's been going that long.
Yeah.
Always looks amazing though.
Yeah.
I think we first did it in 2011 and we've done it every year since. So I think you do get a black mark next to your name if you know you put your name forward and then you can't get the numbers together.
Yeah.
So definitely.
No, it's just I think I can't remember. Was it like 10 I did last year, and that was
that's a tough one.
Is that the one where you finish up in the school? That's got a kick in its tail.
Leg 10 starts up a stupidly steep hill.
I can't remember.
It's a half marathon.
Last leg of day one.
It's last leg of day one, yeah.
I'm sure that was the one that
You
I
finish
did.
in that little park.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe it wasn't then. Maybe it was the. I can't remember, but I enjoyed that because you had to you kind of when you turned around a corner and you went up a hill, and people were saying to me, you know, that is really steep. They said the end is really steep. Again, it was Tracy, one of the girls who were on with, and she said, you know, the end's really steep. Just keep going, dig in, you'll be fine. So I turned around the corner, I thought, oh, this is the steep bit. So I dug in, tried my hardest, and then I turned around and it's like that. I'd still got the steep bit to come. So I'm thinking, oh my God, don't walk.
So if I was your team manager and I gave you a choice of legs, what would you do? Which one would you go for?
The easiest.
The easiest. There is any easy legs on Welsh Castles.
Oh, there's flat ones, isn't there?
There's
Not
flatter
many.
ones.
Flatter ones.
But I suppose are those on day 2, and they're probably a bit boring,
They are on
aren't
day
they?
2, yeah.
So any on day 1.
I think there's a couple of mountain stages on day 2, isn't there?
The flattest one on day
there
1
was.
is like 6, perhaps. The one in that starts in Barmouth.
Right. And then there's one on the first leg of the day on, is it day 2? That's the hill run into. Now, I did do that one year, and it was spectacular because it starts really early in the morning.
It's the 7 a.m. one, isn't it?
Yeah, and the mist and just, it's so quiet. It's just absolutely lovely. And people say, no, there's not many spectators because it's so early in the morning. But you know what? It's just, you're kind of like at peace with yourself. It's lovely. Should have tried harder, really.
Do they do it as a mixed team, the Welsh Castles, or is it men and women?
Some clubs do it as a mixed team, yeah.
So there's 3 categories. There's the mixed.
Open.
Yeah, open, which is the mix.
Yeah.
Right.
Then there's the ladies,
Right.
and then there's the vets.
Ah, right.
Yeah. And Ros asked another question. What's your secret to staying so fit and mostly injury-free after many years of running?
Oh, she's lovely, Ross. So I work with her, and I think that's why she's asking about Welsh
Right,
Castles. Yeah, she's wanting some inside info. So, okay, I think I've struggled with injuries, but not so much now. Just apart from the cramps, really. And I think what I struggle with most now is chest infections. But I think if I can manage those by being careful when I train, when I run. So, you know, like if it's really cold and damp, don't go out, you know, and swap your training around. But I think, like with Ros, she's got 2 young boys. She's trying to get out whenever she can. And I think sometimes that doesn't help with injuries because you sort of, you know, trying to pack all your running in at once, aren't you? Just so that you can get out and accommodate family life. But and she's only young yet, Ros, so she'll have periods of running injury-free.
Sure will. Right, that's all my questions. It's now over to Callum.
Cheers, Dave. So we're going to stick with that dynamic that you mentioned then for Ros, like getting out. So how did you manage your training around having the lads and around Gary's training as well?
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, it could cause a divorce, really. Arguments. So it works out really well because Gary doesn't like hills. So I'd do Dave Walling session and do the hills on a Monday, and he would do. So Dave used to alternate them. So do track 1 week and hills. So we used to do alternate. So that was fine. And then on a Tuesday night, we take the boys down to Sale Harriers, and they had to join the juniors, and then we could go out running. I suppose really that's when I was speedy, because you had to get back, otherwise they'd all be complaining or eating all the rubbish from the tuck shop. And then in terms of races, I used to do the Manchester 5 series, and then Gary would do the Sale Sizzlers. So we just work it between us, really. It works out quite well.
And that Manchester 5 series, you brought the T-shirt, didn't you?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll let you hold it up for the camera if people are watching.
Should do us guess it?
Yeah.
All right then. Just really proud of this. Yeah, so when was it from? 2013, and it was.
I think I remember that series, and they had one in Debdale Park.
They did, yeah.
Cool, got the names on it.
Platfields. That was another one.
Platfields, yeah. Debdale, and what was the?
It was Withenshaw.
And then what's the other park? The one where they've got the really terrible hill, and they do the cake race from.
Pocket Hole Club.
Yeah.
So on the back of the T-shirt, it's all the people's names that are taken part.
Class.
And we had a quick look before, and we could see Callum Rowlinson, we could see Stu Holiday as well, both previous guests. Dave's trying to have
Dave,
a good
I'm
look
gonna
over
look
there.
at
You're not on it. I had a look to see
No,
if
I
you
didn't
were
do
on
this,
it.
no.
You'll recognise names, though, I bet.
Dave Marsh, the Sale Harriers legend.
Tony Payne at the bottom there.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
so
a good
it's-
touch, that.
Yeah. I know, I couldn't believe it really when we got those, and it's just such a shame that the used to be Arnold and Brenda Bradshaw that I think organised this, and then it just stopped, and it was such a shame because also we'd do this run, and then Brenda would do all the results. And then we'd have to wait like a week because she had to type all the results up, and then she had to wait until she got into work so somebody could upload them on the internet. So it's like really basic, but just lovely touches.
Yeah. So your sons, Callum and Lewis, grew up in a household of very good runners. So at what point did you realise that they had inherited the running bug, and was it a case of no choice in the matter?
Definitely no choice in the matter because we just take them down on Tuesday night to the Harriers. But I think with Callum, he was always really energetic, and he was just on the go all the time. He'd sort of get up in the morning like 5 o'clock and he'd be there wanting to go out. So, you'd do things with him and you'd get back home and you think, just sit down and have something to eat, and then right, what are we doing now? So and then with Lewis, he was a good runner and used to do all the school cross countries and what have you. And then and he used to do well. He'd be coming sort of first and what have you. And then he started to cry or get upset, and he'd say, "Mum, my leg's really sore, my leg's really sore." And I'm thinking, he's just getting a bit lazy here. And then one day he finished and he just said, "Look, my leg's really sore, I can't do this anymore." So I took him to the doctors. I said, "Can we just check his leg out? He keeps complaining that it's sore. I think it's just growing pains." Well, the doctor wiped the floor with me and told me there's no such thing as growing pains. And we had to take him for a scan the next day, and he'd got a hole in his knee, which he must have been born with, but we never kind of realised. And then unfortunately he should have had all that sorted, but then COVID kicked in and it was a couple of years before he could get his operation. Then he was at university, so he's just had that all sorted and he's getting back now to doing a bit of running.
Good. So we've got a previous guest group, and just before we started recording, Callum messaged in saying, "Big episode tonight. Can you ask her for a rundown of the top 3 things that have distracted her from running and caused her to fall over?"
All right. One of the things that did distract me, and then Callum's never let me forget this because he was he was in disbelief, and we were jogging back home from the Harriers one night, and I wanted to stop and have a look in this antique shop, like little electrical shop, and he couldn't believe that anybody stopped and looked in a shop window. So I suppose what makes me fall over is looking in shop windows, looking in people's houses.
I love doing that.
I know, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then and then I suppose just not picking my feet up.
Talking.
Yeah.
That's not me
talking.
saying that. Somebody in the corner doing this.
Yeah. Well, talking and not picking my feet up. Concentrating on talking for. Yeah.
So you mentioned to us as well that you've been ribbed by the faster runners in the house of how long you've been out for.
They just don't understand.
Yeah. Busy looking in shops, don't they know that?
Of course.
So, is there a tracker on your phone for their peace of mind, or is it so they know when to put the kettle on?
No, it's so that they stop nagging me when I get in. So, so I'd go out for a run, and then we'd stop and we'd talk and we'd have a breather, then we'd run a bit more, and then, probably we'd run past something and have a look at Christmas lights in people's houses, and then get back home, and then Gary would be saying to me, "How far have you run?" So I said, 6 miles. He said, "I could have done a half marathon in that time." And then obviously he'd be talking to Callum, and he'd be saying, "Do you know how long your mum was out for?" And it was really, I thought, is he worried about me, or is he just having a go? So I've downloaded a tracker on his phone so that he knows I'm okay and he can see where I've stopped for a talk. So, and he never puts a kettle on. I get home and he said, "Oh, we've just brewed up."
No.
So, you touching on safety there, we've mentioned it in previous episodes around safety for any runner, male or female. Are there any other steps that you've taken or that you'd recommend to our listeners?
Okay, so sometimes I run with my sail vest on because under my clothes, because then I think if I fall over and I can't get up, and the ambulance come and they'll see my sail vest, won't they? So they get in touch with Sale Harriers, and then I have run with my barcode, my part-run barcode in my pocket. But on a serious note, what I would say is high-vis, get some high-vis clothes, and make sure you can be seen. And I do run early in the morning, and I've got a light, and I wear a light. And then I also got the tracker on my phone, but I also sort of let people know when I'm going, and where I'm running and what my route's going to be.
Do you have a Garmin?
I do. Yeah.
So there's a feature on there called a beacon.
Right,
I think it's called a beacon. And as soon as you start your run, it sends a message to whoever you want in your list, whether that's a text message or an email, and they can actually track your full route, and it's all on Garmin. You have to have your phone with you to do it, but it sounds like you already do that.
Yeah.
So that might be something to look into as well.
Mm.
So how did the book What I Talk About When I Talk About Running by Murakami, and I've been practicing that all day.
Smooth.
How did it change your perspective on ageing and the shift from times to age grading?
Yeah, so I was talking to a girl at work, and she was, a young girl, and she was wanting to get into running, and she was telling me that she'd been out running, and how hard it is, just getting going and what have you. So I said to her, don't, I was kind of telling her not to beat herself up about it. Because, said I beat myself up, I'm not as fast as I used to be, and, and how that kind of leaves you with a sense of, is it time to pack it all in? So she said, "Oh, don't do that, I've got a great book you should read." So she brought this book in, and I started to read it, and I must admit it was a bit of a slog to get through, but there was a chapter, and it was all about him, and he's a long distance runner, and how he kind of fell out of love with running because he wasn't achieving his times. So then he started to talk about, well, there's no way that I'll be running as quick as 20-year-olds, or how quick I ran in my 20s, because obviously you're ageing, you're getting slower. And I thought, that is what you've got to think about, isn't it? And then I think it was Jenny who we run with, and she said, "But your age grading for your part run, have you never looked at your age grading? Your age grading is better than our age grading." So I came away and I had a look at that, and I thought, yeah, it is actually. So it kind of put a whole new perspective on running, and from that, I kind of stopped entering races, because either I'd be injured, or maybe not so much injured, but I'd be ill or something, or it gets to race day and I'm thinking, what's the point of doing this? I could just go out and do a 10k and on my own, rather than paying and what have you. And then it kind of gave me that confidence and motivated me really to start entering races again and going off and doing them, because thought, I'm not going to probably get a 21 for a 5k or 44 for a 10k, but I am probably going to be competing with other 60-year-olds or over 60s, and be on a more a level par with them.
Yeah, definitely.
So you recently went to Cyprus as well, so you're getting about with it, aren't you?
Yeah.
So for the Lepos 4-day challenge, so how does a mountain run in the Cyprus sun compare to the rainy Tuesday at Crossford Bridge? And does it compare to the Tour of Tameside? So
it beats a rainy Tuesday at Crossford Bridge, hands down. But with the Tour of Tameside, we were kind of thinking about this because each of us who did that event also do the Tour of Tameside.
Chloe does it, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Elliot, yeah.
So it was quite funny because we'd seen this Leptos challenge, and I'd seen it a couple of years ago, and I thought, I've done the Tour of Tameside. I really enjoyed that. It was such a challenge. I wanted to go and do this in Cyprus, and I think the timings were wrong or something. So then got talking to Jenny, and she said, Chloe Elliott's doing that. So I said to Chloe, let's all do it one year, or if you're going to do it again, let me know. Yeah. So it just fell right last year, so we all went off and did it. And so the faster runners were sort of like complaining about it, that it was really hard, really tough, and I enjoyed it. So, and I did find it tough. It was hard, but I enjoyed it because it was sunny. It was different terrain, great views, and a really well organised event. But then what I like about the tour is the friendliness and the same people that you see again, and friends that you make. You sort of, I think that the tour has got the edge over it in terms of the friendliness. And
I think if you're from the area, the tour, there's nothing else like it, because it's like the people that in the race and on the side of the road and everything else.
Yeah.
Perhaps if someone came from somewhere else in the world to run the tour, they might not feel quite the same.
They could. I mean, there was a real friendliness about the Leptos challenge. I mean, sort of people there were, all chatting, really nice. But I did the tour one year, and I was just like walking back, and somebody stopped and said, you're Callum's mum, aren't you? And I'm thinking, yes, who are you? Please remember who you are. And, and then I met you, and we were talking about, Cramp and what have you. And it's just, and I think even on the route of the tour as well, people come out and cheer you on, don't they? And that's lovely in all weathers. So.
What time of year is it that in Cyprus?
It was November, was it? Yeah.
It's warm then.
It's probably good racing conditions, though, isn't it? A bit cooler. Maybe.
I felt a bit cheated actually. So we'd go out, we'd go early in the morning, we'd do the run, and it was boiling hot. And then we'd get back to Paphos, and it was cold and dull and grey. So it was fine if you were up in the hills, but coming back down, it was a bit.
There's a marathon there as well in March, I think.
There is,
That's something I keep looking at, but. I don't know.
Oh no, go and do it, because Paphos if it's around Paphos, it's lovely, it's really nice, and it's by the coast. So on the last day we did the 10k, and that's where it finished, by the castle, and there was this beer, is it Kia there, beer? And everybody else was like going for the gels and everything. Just me a beer. I didn't have Cramp that day either, so.
That's what I think.
And I thought, so it's like 10 o'clock in the morning that the 10k finished, and then you're thinking back, oh my God, it's like only 6 o'clock in the morning, isn't it? So,
Well, that's all my questions, so I'll pass you over to Sean now.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. I mean, we've talked about this T-shirt a lot, haven't we? The Grand Prix series. Is there anything else? Memorabilia-wise that you're proud of and come part with? Gary. Or is that
no,
it?
Gary.
I suppose he is a bit of memorabilia, isn't he?
He is running memorabilia. And I couldn't part with him. Mind you, I don't know whether he'd say the same about me.
I'm sure he would. He's nodding. And going back to part runs as well, so you've you talked about age grading being a motivator, but you were first lady at Wythenshawe Park Run in 2015. What was that feeling like? Because let's face it, it's a race, isn't it?
You know what? I couldn't stop laughing. I got to the end and I was thinking, I just couldn't believe it. Yeah, you know, it's like belief in yourself, isn't it? And I thought, oh, there must be a big race on somewhere else. Nobody's turned up. But yeah, you know, take it. It was great, and I think if I could do that, you know, on a regular occurrence, I'd be really happy. But I suppose it was nice because it was home turf as well. You know, it's Wythenshawe Park Run. It's close by, and I did. Yeah, obviously, when I think I overtook the girl who was ahead of me, and it is like, oh God, you know, you've really got to dig in and stick in, and you know, stick at it. So
yeah, would you say is that your favourite part run? I don't think we've asked that, have we? But
I don't know really. I think if I had hand on heart, Wythenshawe, when it's not conditions like this where it's pouring down and you knee deep in
the start fields look really boggy on Saturday.
Yeah. No, it's nice, wasn't it? We were there, weren't we? Not so long ago. It's
We were
nice.
there a few weeks ago, and
there's a friendliness about it.
very much so. It's nice to be able to go in that little cafe afterwards and just have a little drink.
That was right. You rolled your ankle on it because it was really frosty morning, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dan Cav tried jumping a fence. I laughed at him and then rolled my ankle about 2 seconds later.
And Dave fell off the bench.
And Sharon didn't get his coffee.
Yeah, our experience isn't as positive as yours, on reflection.
No, it's a good park run.
And I was going to just go back to the marathon and fueling because so Lucasade, Mars bars potentially in the 80s. What about these days? You know, how have you found fueling like that to fueling like today with gels, or do you even use gels?
Well, it's really funny because I've not been a big user of gels, and it's always like, you know, do they really work? I'm sort of putting stuff in my body that, you know, it shouldn't be, and you know, what's the after effect going to be? So I've always been really wary about using them, but then I must admit, this time while I've been training for this marathon, I've been using them and
practicing, like in training with it as well.
Oh yeah, it's practicing. And then you know, Callum, when he's got any cast-offs, he says, you see, so I had some awesome ones, so I used them, and they were good. So I think they do help. In all seriousness, they do help. And I think when I did the Taurus Tameside and the 13 miler, I did have them then. So in seriousness, they do help.
Yeah, that's a good point. Taurus Tameside's not dissimilar, is it? You know, because you're going day after day.
And you do need something.
You have it in the tank, aren't you?
Yeah, you got to eat quite. I mean, you'll know that turnaround Friday into Saturday morning. It's just almost impossible.
Exactly. When you're ready for tea.
And I think it's, you know, it is about going home, and it's so hard. You finish your run at night. By the time you get home, you don't feel hungry, but you just eat. I was just like boiling pasta and putting a tomato sauce over it and just eating that.
Yeah, I remember last time I did it. It was the last time. Well, it was when I got injured. I've done it since, but on the Friday night going into Saturday morning, me and Claire decided that we were going to really hit the electrolytes, you know, to make sure we're fueled. Couldn't sleep at all, wired all night, and we realised we'd been like drinking caffeine electrolytes, and really strong ones as well. About a quarter of an hour sleep.
But I bet you didn't cramp the next day. Flew by.
You are wired, aren't you, as well after the race?
Of course you
want to stand around and chat to everyone.
I know. Yeah, and the tracker on the phone, it's like, it's static.
And would you give what sort of advice would you give to someone who thinks that it's too late to join a running club, in particular, you know, thinks they're not fast enough to join a running club?
Just give me a call and I'll tell you. It's like, you know, so at work, again, you know, obviously we talk about running, and there was a young girl there, and Helen, and she was this is going back years ago, and she was saying about running, and she didn't think she could run, and I was, you know, just go out and give it a go. You know, just start by running around the block and build it up from there. Anyway, she took running up, and she used to say, "Oh, you know, I've done 10k and I've done this," and then she entered the cake race that Manchester is it the front runners do.
Yeah.
So I said, "Okay, I'll see you there, and we can run around together." And I got there, she sped off, and she was like, you know, she just was speed lightning and did a fantastic time. And I felt quite proud, really, because I thought, you know what, she probably wouldn't have taken running up if we hadn't have talked about it. And now then she did she's doing marathon Manchester this year, and she's done a marathon previously and got a really good time. So I just, you know, if anybody wants to take it up, don't be afraid. And I think we've got like things like Couch to 5k now, haven't we? And Mile Shy Club, you know, Jane does an amazing job with Mile Shy Club, and I think just join something like that. Don't be afraid, and get yourself down to Sale Harriers on a Monday night. Great sessions there.
Yeah, and just the people you meet as well, isn't it?
Oh,
and everything.
Amazing.
Yeah. And 40 years of running. If you had to summarise or sum up the Manchester running community in just a few words, what would you?
It's hard, but I just think, you know, it's brought me a lot of joy, lifelong friendships, and just support and motivation.
Yeah.
Gary's had a few mentions tonight.
So it's a desert island feature. So let me explain.
Actually, you don't need to.
You know, it actually came from Callum, this idea. So if you had to choose your dream location, distance, and a person to run with, and that can be dead or alive, who would that be?
Okay, so right, Gary, and we'd go running in Mallorca, and I take him up. Is it Cap Fonte? I can't remember, but up to the lighthouse, because it's really hilly, and then he wouldn't be able to run off. He'd have to talk to me, wouldn't he? And then he'd have to stop because he hates hills. And 10 miles is my nice distance, because, you know, you can just pace yourself, can't you?
Yeah, nice.
Oh, that's nice.
That's good, isn't it? Now the quick fire round. So cross country, yes or no?
Yes.
Park run, race or not a race?
Not a race.
Come on. Carbons for park run, yes or no?
Oh, no. No.
Run in any weather or head to the treadmill?
Oh, no, run any weather.
Stretching or no stretching?
Oh, no stretching.
You know the right answer there, don't you? Gym work on Strava, yes or no?
Oh, definitely no.
Post-run beer or post-run protein shake?
Post-run beer is the option.
Stop your watch or not when you stop during a run?
Yeah, stop watch.
Track races or no track races?
No track races.
And ice baths and saunas, yes or no?
Can I have just a sauna?
I'll leave you there.
Good answers, and that's it for the questions, and that's it for my questions. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Lynda.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
That's it for this episode. In our next interview, we will have a Hyde community runner who has PBs in the 5k of 23:39, a 10k of 48:39, a half marathon of 1:48:18, and a marathon of 4:23:49. We will be speaking to Steve Daniels. So get those questions in for Steve in the usual ways, and remember, run past all the distractions. The shop windows will still be there, but your excuses won't be.